Buster. I'm not scared anymore. Great side fake, Buster.
What is all that noise?
Oh, wow, look at all this stuff. It's gorgeous.
Oh no. Out, please. Take your battles elsewhere. This museum has no strategic value.
I'm looking for a phony relic, that's all.
You must be mistaken. Each piece here is an irreplaceable artifact from Alderaan's long and distinguished heritage. Some are thousands of years old. You must go before anything is damaged.
I won't lay a finger on a thing if you help me find what I'm looking for.
I have cared for these antiquities for 57 years. Every item here is the genuine article. I can prove it to you. I have an integrity scanner we use for restoration work. It will only take a few minutes to scan for enough. Oh no! The security cameras, they've spotted you. You can't fight in here.
Guess you better hurry then.
Oh no, oh no, oh no! I really don't know what you expect to find, but look out! Only a few more to scan. Just another moment, please. Please don't kill me. I found something, but that's impossible. If this is a fake, where is the real first founding memorial vase?
Be needing it then. Hand it over.
Yes, of course. You have what you want. Now, please, leave. Please.
Was really to on the way. That's somebody's house? My entire block apartment back on Nar Shaddaa could fit in there.
accept your hand? I'd sooner thrust my fist into a thresher.
I don't understand. I thought this had already been arranged, approved.
Advocate, be so kind as to remove this thing from my presence.
Look at the bright side, Tubby. Bouncing back is probably something you're good at.
This must be some kind of mistake! Ugh.
The nerve of Zakar and my father, treating me like some insipid, simpering... Ugh! How many more of these absurd marriage proposals must I endure?
You people have got a funny definition of romance.
Romance? Marriage is the currency of politics. It is customary to gift one's children for favors.
We've got a word for that in Nar Shaddaa. It's called slavery.
Were you marriageable, I think you'd find that there is some distinction. I, however, make my own decisions. I will not be bandied about like some parcel of land to fuel my cousin's ambitions. Good day, Advocate.
Your attack on House Alder certainly didn't go unnoticed, but you managed not to cause any unnecessary destruction. That merits a bonus, I think.
Appreciate it, Baron.
You'll be certain to see more if you continue to perform with distinction. Let's see what you've discovered. This is an Organa's house town. Give me a moment to pass the details. These houses. Thule vassals, Ulgo vassals, House Organa. Duke Corwin isn't just allying with the Organas. He's organizing an entire coalition against the House Thule.
Sounds like he's prepping you guys for a good beatdown.
Indelicate, but accurate, and there is nothing we can do about it. My cousin is safe within the sanctuary of House Rist. If he's under their protection, it's little wonder why the Durasteel Duke always survives. The Rists are a family of assassins who ascended into nobility through centuries of murder and sabotage. Duke Corwin is beyond our reach.
I'm gonna pay House Rist a visit. Be back once the Duke's a corpse.
You're determined, I'll give you that. You'll need to find Duke Corwin's haven inside House Rist, and stop whatever negotiations my cousin has underway permanently. I'm likely sending you to your death, but if you can manage to succeed, I will have a suitable payment waiting.
Please select an available travel route. Have a safe and pleasant stay.
button. It's just spin. Oh boy, get me to a med center. Oh. I don't like the looks of this.
I'm afraid you're too late. Duke Corwin took his leave of House Rist on a shuttle just moments ago. Rather hastily, I might add. So hastily he neglected to pay me. A rather gauche breach of etiquette. And unwise.
How about I pick up his tab, and you tell me where to collect?
Very considerate of you. But I don't know where he went. Still, it's odd to see Duke Corwin panic. Regardless, congratulations are in order for surviving this long. It's more than can be said for the last bounty hunter to stalk our dear Duke.
I do got this funny habit of breathing.
I see you have a sense of humor. It'd be a shame to see it extinguished. I'm going to make you an offer, and I'm only going to make it once. House Rist has been contracted to eliminate Baron Zakhar Gerard and all of House Gerard's leadership. We'd like to commission you to carry out these assassinations on our behalf.
You're asking me to kill my present employer. It's bad form.
Hardly. Wait until after you've collected Baron Zakhar's bounty on the Durasteel Duke before you destroy House Gerard. There's no rush. House Rist has no further obligation to Duke Corwin. Agree to the contract. You can go in peace.
I don't trust this guy, boss. Zakhar's been good to us so far. Let's play straight with him.
It's a simple decision, really. Death or profit.
Your credits are no good.
Such a pity. Goodbye, bounty hunter.
Advocate, are you there? Damn this blasted thing. Can you hear me? I have news. I don't dare discuss the details on an insecure channel. Please return to House Gerard as soon as possible.
wanted to tell you. Seemed pretty urgent.
I apologize for recalling you here, but I couldn't risk my cousin catching wind of this discussion. If his retreat from House Rist is any indication, the Durasteel Duke is already running scared, and I'd like him to stay right where he is. It may not be our goal, but crippling House Rist is worth noting. Consider this payment for supporting the Thule war effort.
Your whole family is on the Rist hit list.
Thank you for the warning, but I don't think Rist is in any position to strike after your actions. What is the meaning of this?
I just caught this little rake of yours in a dalliance with my wife.
More like you caught your wife in a dalliance with me, cuckold.
Unless you want half of House Thule, questioning why we continue to keep you riffraff here, you'll grant me that winter haven of yours.
My grandfather's estate? Are you mad? That's half my family's lands. Advocate, kill this petty extortionist, and I'll double what I just gave you.
Picked a bad time to show up, buddy.
You pay this thug to murder me. It's idiotic to think you'd actually get away with that.
There is a war going on, or hadn't you noticed? You've just become another unfortunate casualty.
You're insane!
Worth every last credit. Thank you, Advocate. Raffid, you're confined to your chambers indefinitely. Hope I do not keep you there for the rest of your natural life. Now get out!
My life or yours, father?
As I was saying, with House Rist unable to protect him, I have no doubt that Duke Corwin is seeking asylum with the Organas.
The Rist didn't know where he went. How do you?
Thule scouts reported spotting a civilian shuttle headed into Organa territory shortly after you breached House Rist's compound. There's nowhere left for my cousin to run. Go kick down House Organa's doors and give them hell. Expect a bonus for any additional Organa casualties.
Welcome. Please select an available travel route.
and kill me. Valor! Wait! Don't shoot. I'm not who you think I am. Look! See?
You've got 3 seconds to tell me where the real Duke is.
It's okay, Muriel. There is no point maintaining this farce any longer.
Whoa, that's a lot of guys.
Don't be alarmed. This is a misunderstanding. I'm sure we can reach an agreement without further bloodshed.
Got my attention.
The impersonator you've been chasing is Lady Muriel Quinlan, the Duke's sister. If you want to see the Duke, you need only look there. The real Duke Corwin died almost a month ago while visiting to negotiate a treaty. Even using Kolto's suspension, our attempts to revive him have ultimately failed. All we've managed to do is delay his bodily death.
Doesn't explain why you've got his sister running around as a decoy.
Duke Corwin promised he'd rally nobles loyal to him to Organa's side, but his death dashed any hopes of those alliances. Lady Corwin agreed to help us and her. Strong family resemblance allowed her to make a convincing double for her brother.
She does kind of have a case of the Howling Uglies.
We sent her to House Rist to maintain the illusion that the Durasteel Duke was alive and well until she finished negotiating those alliances.
May as well have put a blaster to her head yourself.
We never imagined someone could harm her while under the protection of House Rist. Since you're more than capable of taking Duke Corwin from us, we won't resist under 2 conditions. Leave peacefully and speak nothing of this deception to anyone.
Looks like we're finally catching a lucky break.
Will you agree to those terms?
The Duke's the only reason I'm here. Keep your word, and I'll walk out nicely.
He's yours, Bounty Hunter. Just go in peace.
Goodbye, brother. You make sure he gets a proper burial.
Better not tell the Huntmaster he was already dead. They might make us do another one.
This is a new low, Rafid.
You're accusing me. If anyone is...
Gentlemen, compose yourselves. Our esteemed guest has returned.
We are busy, Bounty Hunter, and as you can see, Baron Zakar is otherwise indisposed. My nephew's last act was preparing a sum of credits. I can only assume they're yours.
This should cover it.
The Baron has no further need of your services. I have to assume the burden of managing my nephew's estate.
As the Baron's only son, I have first claim to succession, Hader.
Your claim was forfeit the moment you killed your father. As regent, the title passes to me.
Actually, Father, the Baron passed his authority to our advocate. Legally, the Bounty Hunter could name the new head of House Gerard.
Why do either of you deserve to be Baron?
Being my nephew's faithful right hand for years obviously makes me the most suited to this task. Besides, I've accumulated a tidy sum over the years. Appoint me Baron and I'll see you well rewarded.
Ha! Hader keeps his purse strings so tight he could garrote you with it. Now you look radiant with the blush of power. Ever considered becoming a baroness?
Should either one of them take over, we'll all end up hoppers or lapdogs to the Thules. Advocate, you've already helped me work towards escaping the chattel role I'm relegated to. If you would finally liberate me from these buffoons, I would be very grateful.
Enough pandering. What's your decision, Advocate?
I'm going with Itala.
Father, I shan't have need of your counsel as Vice Baron. You may consider yourself a lord-in-waiting.
This is your gratitude for rearing you to adulthood?
Think of it as a reward for all the years you devoted to raising me as a commodity. As for you, Raffid, you are hereby banished from House Gerard.
You can't! Where will I go?
When have you ever had trouble finding a bed? I'm sure you'll be fine. I can handle things from here, Advocate. Thanks to you, I can now take control of my life.
She could use an attitude adjustment, but Itala wasn't that bad in the end.